Hey everybody, Hector Castillo here. In this video we're going to be going over one of these videos. You've probably seen them before where there's two people and they press the button to reject the other person. It's like a speed dating reality TV show kind of mix because obviously it's very dramatic. They pick very zany people. Oh, 1 second, let me close this. I was watching some Street Fighter. Oh, perfect, yes. Good good screenshot when Zangief is doing his super on other people. I do that a lot. I got to master rank with Zangief in Street Fighter 6. But anyways, I'm getting distracted. So this video from Cut, girl almost destroyed the button. It's pretty viral or popular to go over these videos because you end up seeing, silly people doing silly things. Of course, my goal is to help you with your dating life. And as much fun as it might be to watch some of these people and, you'll want to make fun of them, and what we want to learn from these types of interactions is two things. One, we want to learn about what women want and how women express themselves on date-like situations, even though this is artificial, and that's very important for you to remember. We do want to learn how women act, in a date-like scenario. But two, we actually want to understand the difference between what is really going on and what you think is going on. And what I just mentioned, how this is an artificial environment, right? They're handpicking these people with drama in mind, right? Their goal is to get views. So they're going to pick people who they know are going to have that kind of chemistry, either positive or negative, that's going to get views, right? Also, the people who are going on to this, they know they're going to be recorded, and that's going to affect their behavior. That's why any sort of social sciences, it's already tainted when someone knows they're being recorded. Even if it's a questionnaire and, they say they're doing this and then it's really this, it's very difficult to do a very stringent scientific experiment when it comes to people. That's why the good old just cold approach, talking to random women and going on actual dates is the best way to get experience. But we can still learn things from these kinds of videos if we can distinguish between what is hyped up because someone's on camera, they're nervous, or they're going to reject the other person to make themselves look better, even though they might have actually been interested in them in real life. Right? It gets messy. But we'll just get to it. Also, if you see me drinking this is not actual beer. It's non-alcoholic beer. I'm still sober. I had a client one of these days recently, and we were doing a call, and I was drinking one of these, and I realized at the end of our call, I was like, by the way, this isn't alcohol. He's like, oh, okay, I was kind of wondering. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting blitzed on camera while I'm doing a coaching session, and also I am still sober for 3 years and June, July, more than 3 years and 2, maybe 3 months almost. So don't worry, Hector's not getting blitzed on camera. It's non-alcoholic. I just like the taste of beer. Okay, let's get started. Maybe 1 second, go back 2 seconds.
One of Adrian's deal breakers is someone who doesn't have a J-O-B.
Yeah, someone doesn't have a job.
I don't have a job.
You don't have a job?
Welcome to The Button, a speed dating show. When the button lights up red, either player may press it and swap out their date for a new person.
Get out of here.
If two people can last on a date for 10 minutes, they win an all-expenses-paid second date.
This is The Button.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hello, nervous.
Nice to meet you. My name's Joaquin.
Nice to meet you. My name's Amy.
Amy?
Yes.
Yeah, where are you from, Amy?
I am from...
I mean, he might even literally be an astronaut. I have no idea, but who the fuck would wear that? We're having weird people on here, and they're probably playing it up to get attention. So you can already just see just how tainted something like this is. They're just trying to get attention. Like, who in their fucking right mind would do that?
From Queen Anne.
I don't know what Queen Anne is. I'm sorry.
We are currently in Queen Anne.
Okay,
right
cool.
now. Yes.
Cool.
Fuck me, bro. Okay, Jesus Christ. I'm going to try and be, professional in this, and I don't want to make fun of people, right? Because that's what everyone else does, but holy shit.
Cool.
Amy, ask him why his outfit.
Yes. Why the spacesuit? Why the astronaut?
A lot of people are interested in outer space, and I'm interested in inner space.
Okay, tell me more.
People look they see space and the stars and they see all this stuff and they're like really turned on by it, and I'm kind of disgusted by the negligence of the use of money for outer space. How's your weekend been so far?
Been pretty good. I celebrated my best friend's birthday.
So saying something that deep, like I mean, yeah, it's cringe deep. Like it's from like that subreddit, I am very deep kind of cringe. But at the same time, expressing, something that deep about yourself, I mean, I'm sure you have some beliefs that someone on earth would think is cringe, right? That you take seriously. From an outside kind of point of view, that's pretty silly of him to worry about. For it to be such an important thing that he's disgusted by the use of money, right? But you probably have some beliefs that are as cringe as that, I would imagine. But when you're on a date with a girl, you wanna say stuff like that later, right? I know this is a very special environment, right? But we could learn a lesson even though it's silly and not entirely comparable. When you have deeper things that could potentially be not even just cringy, but in conflict with what she believes, you want to leave those for once you've felt out the person, right? He made a decent transition. He's like, how's your weekend going? Like, he should have started with that, right? Once you build some rapport with someone, it creates a buffer, right? It creates this wall of rubber that can serve as a landing pad for anything that's a bit heavier that you have to express to her, like deeply held political, religious, da-da-da. Some people say you shouldn't talk about this stuff on a date. I think it's a great thing to talk about if you know how to do it in the right way, because it creates a bond much stronger. But you first need to build basic rapport. How's your weekend? How are you? Where are you from? Like, those questions sound boring, and I know they can get annoying, but they actually do just communicate normal social skills, and it creates this landing pad so then when your heavier type of beliefs come out, they'll soften the blow. And you have this buffer where, okay, you said something kind of maybe not weird or creepy or strange, but just, okay, that was deep. And it'll kind of help it softly land, but then you still have room to go, right? Eventually, if you do too much of it, then yes, you make the person feel nervous or creeped out or just annoyed or angry if you have conflicting beliefs. Rapport first, deep shit later.
Yesterday?
Oh, Taurus? Okay. I saw a murder last night.
Okay.
Oh, attempted murder. I was filming a video in California and I saw a man get shot in the neck. And now we're trying to sell it to a news station. Okay. It's absolutely batshit crazy.
Okay. Another thing, right? When you're going to tell someone beliefs that you have, and then you immediately contradict your beliefs, women, this is what, I know this is ridiculous, right? Let's just get out of the way. Like, I know a lot of this shit is ridiculous, but we're just going to use it as an example because people probably do act like this on dates. I've seen women say some crazy shit on dates or just act in weird ways, right? And I'm sure you've been cringe on a date and seen a girl being cringe. So we're just going to move forward and just take this somewhat seriously. He just said a second ago, I'm disgusted by the use of money to explore outer space because we need to explore our inner spaces. And then he just said, I saw an attempted murder, a man who got shot in the neck, and his first thought that he's talking about is, well, first of all, he's almost like bragging about it, like, oh my God, I saw this thing, right? And then he has it on video and he wants to sell it. So he wants to profit from someone getting shot in the neck. So using money to explore outer space, oh, it's disgusting. We need to explore our inner selves. Oh, but I also want to make money by selling a video of a man getting shot in the neck and potentially dying. Yeah. These types of people tend to be that kind of hypocrites. But when you're talking to a girl on a date, have congruence. If you have a belief and then you don't live up to it, even if it's something small, women pay attention to small things. They really do. Like, I remember, this is the stupidest example, but I was on a date with a girl and she came over, and for some reason we kept talking about like eating. And when I was in middle school, I didn't have a lot of money, so what I would do is I would wait for my friends to finish their lunch and then eat their leftovers to save money, right? So I was the garbage disposal. I would just eat anything. I didn't give a shit, right? I was just, I want to get my food. And I was telling her this story, and I kept talking about it, and I was hungry because we were going to cook together. That's how it came up, right? So we got back to my place, started making out, fooling around, and then we were supposed to cook. And I just kept going on and on about how I'm a garbage disposal and I eat a lot. Well, I was so focused on getting laid that I actually didn't end up being that hungry, right? And I ended up not eating a lot. And I remember at some point she's like, well, you were talking about how you're a garbage disposal and you barely touched your food. And it was such a stupid thing to be incongruent about, but she still, it was pointed out. It was important enough to have been pointed out by her, right? So the smallest, women pay attention to the smallest things, whether it's on a first date or you're in a relationship with a woman. Women pay attention to things. So be congruent with who you say you are and who you are.
Yeah. I think she's weirded out by me.
See, now this is where the psychology of the game show comes in, right? No one wants to get rejected. Everyone's going to reject the other person first, right? He knew he was weirding her out. And then there was that tension of like, should I do it? Should I not? Because she's trying to be polite. And then he's not rejecting her. He has nothing to reject her off of. But he knows that he's a fucking weirdo. And, or at least he showed himself to be a weirdo. I'm sure he can be a normal guy in some instances. But he wanted to reject her before she rejects him. Because, I mean, everyone feels that way. No one wants to get rejected. It takes a very strong person to just accept and embrace rejection without it. You know, even if you feel the desire to get back at them, you don't let it take over your actions. And this is how a lot of seductions are lost, actually. Where people will reject the other person because they can feel an impending rejection in the future. Like, this happens a lot when girls think you're a player. They'll be attracted to you, but they'll start to get these hints or outright signs that, you know, you're a fuckboy. And it can be confusing because you're like, oh, I was the nice guy, then I turned into the fuckboy, I started getting laid a bunch, but then now I'm getting kind of mixed results where girls are interested in me, but then play really hard to get and reject me. And it's so strange, and it befuddled me for a long time. And then I realized, because I was talking to women and also paying attention to their reactions and asking their feedback later, and, you know, when I was dating them, and they would consistently say, like, yeah, you know, I assumed you were a fuckboy, right? You're saying all these nice things, but then I think you're going to sleep with me and then not call me back. And so they feel the urge to reject you before that happens, even if they actually are attracted to you.
So why did you press on me?
I knew you were not interested. Right off the bat.
Just because you thought that I wasn't interested, that's why you didn't want to continue conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get married and have like 100 kids, so like, why waste each other's time, right?
I respect that. I hope you have fun on your next date.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
What was your name?
Ida.
Ida? Joaquin. Nice
Nice to meet you.
Are you each other's
I mean, he has basic social skills. He knows to stand up and shake someone's hand, right? But he's got some quirks, obviously.
type?
You can say no, it's okay.
I know, yeah, you're not my type
That's okay.
off of like first looks.
Ida's type is someone funny, confident, and not afraid to show emotions. Does that describe you, Joaquin?
So well into like the extreme aspects.
What do you
Like-
mean extreme?
Like, if like I'm heavily invested in someone, like if I'm actually seeking to build a future with them, like I give them all of me.
How soon do you give all of you?
That's what I'm struggling with. That's what I'm
Oh, so you
struggling
do it
with.
like very soon?
I'd say probably. I'd say it's love bombing, but not from
Oh,
a place
okay.
of. Why did you not want to go on a date with me?
Like you said, you love hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to break anyone's heart because I'm not at that point right now.
Okay. Thank you,
I'm
Joaquin.
looking
Thank
for
you.
some dick. But girls are always open to something serious if the right guy comes along. But of course, they will have certain things immediately of interest. Like, she's probably just looking to have fun.
What's your name?
I'm Ida.
I'm Dominique.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You can see her vocal tonality changed immediately. Oh, nice to meet you. Very uptone, right? Watch. Listen to her voice tonality. This is really helpful for you to understand. So this is an example of, because it's nonverbal. It's hard to fake it, right? Listen to her vocal tonalities and how she ends her sentences, like her voice fluctuation.
It's hard because I'm not at that point right now.
Okay.
But not from
Oh,
a place
okay.
of all of me.
How soon
Let's
do
go
you
to
give
when she
Does that
first met
describe
him.
you, Joaquin?
So well. Joaquin, nice
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Are you each other's type?
You can say no, it's okay.
I know, yeah, you're not my type
That's okay.
off of like first looks.
Ida's type is. Does that describe you, Joaquin?
I mean extreme.
Like, if like I'm heavily invested in someone, like if
You.
that's what I'm struggling with. That's what
Oh,
I'm
so you
struggling
do it
with.
like very soon?
I'd say probably.
And you can see her face. Her But you could listen to just the small.
Oh, yeah, I'd say it's love bombing,
When
but
she
not
explains
from a place
Okay.
of. Why did you not want to go on a date with me?
Like you said, you love hard. I don't want to break anyone's heart because I'm not at that point right now.
Okay. Thank you, Joaquin.
Thank you.
So what's your name?
I'm Ida.
I'm Dominique.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, how old are you?
I'm 26. How old are you?
I'm 32.
What are you two looking for in a relationship right now?
I'm a tender person, man. I need somebody to be tender with me, man. I used to be out in the streets.
Was you a hoe? You
Never
said you was in the
been. I never
streets.
been on got large number. Yeah, what about you?
So I want someone same as you, like kind of like caring, but also like grow together. Just
See, just a second ago, she pretty much insinuated on a fucking tongue twister. I'm not looking for something serious, right? Because she said I'm not looking to break someone's heart because that's not really where I'm going right now. Which is like the implication of that is I'm not looking for something serious. Literally 5 seconds later, she says, I'm looking for someone to grow with. Like, what the right? This is an example of women saying one thing and then being open to another, which is not, this is where like red pill guys go, yeah, women are hypocrites. And it's like, no, I'm just saying women are always open to either good sex or a relationship. So it's not about her necessarily, being like a hypocrite or contradictory. It's that depending on the person, her desires can change instantly. So for this guy, she's already giving, just based on her conversation, an openness to something really serious. Whereas the other guy, she was like, no, I'm not open to anything serious in parentheses with you because I'm not attracted to you.
don't be on your sex shit. Like I really just don't like that kind of stuff. I've met grown ass men that are children. If you're a child, don't fuck with me.
I mean, how much do you understand what they're going through?
If you're in a predicament where you're trying, that's not, I will never jump that. But if you're a person who chooses to sit on your ass and be in home all fucking day while someone's working, oh, I can't find out because you're just looking on your phone. No, get up off your ass, do some shit. You can find other jobs, like, like work through it. Go ahead, that's fine.
And and I'll tell you why I did it. I think that you have to come to a term of forgiving people for not being their best selves. And that's not me thinking you haven't.
Ida, was that surprising?
Yeah, I kind of liked you a little bit. Anyway.
She did like him. But she went too hard. What she's saying is true. Women don't care when you're in a low spot. Really. Or they, like, it doesn't bother them. It doesn't make them look down on you. Except for some women. Like, some women are so fucked up and have so many insecurities, and where if they see their man dropping low, they're like, okay, I already have so much shit on my plate, I can't also take care of his shit, right? That has to do with her moral character and also her mental health. But for the most part, women don't actually mind when a guy's in a low place, which is kind of what this guy was getting. He said, oh, well, you got to understand where a guy's coming from when he's in a low place, right? And she's saying, I understand where he's coming from, but there's a difference between a guy who sits there and doesn't try to change it and a guy who does try to change it, right? Like last year, I went through crazy anxiety and PTSD from being in Ukraine and a lot of other things. And I was in a really, really low place. Now, my girl was there to support me, and it didn't affect her attraction or anything, right? A lot of the red pill guys are like, yeah, women are going to leave you at the first sign of weakness. No, I actually saw the opposite. When I opened myself up and she saw me at a level of weakness she had never seen me. I mean, she's seen me be vulnerable, but this is like another level. She was there to support me, right? I would cry my fucking eyes out and she'd be there to hold me. But she knew that I wasn't going to give up. That was the distinguishing factor. I wasn't going to give up. Yes, I was in this place where I didn't know how to handle all these strange physical symptoms that were coming because my nervous system was all out of whack, and I was going through fucking anxiety and panic attacks and anxiety attacks and all sorts of weird fucking symptoms. It was very difficult for her to see, and it was difficult for me to experience. But based on avid evidence, she never lost attraction for me, right? It was difficult for sure. And at some point she got exhausted, but she was there for me always because she knew that I was going to push through. Now, if I was a guy who she knew would give up, then what's the point of staying there, right? You got to think of it as a little bit pros and cons. It's like you want these women to give you unconditional love. That's kind of what this guy's saying. I want someone to be tender, he wants a woman to support him. And she's not saying she won't. She's just saying you have to also be trying. And there's a miscommunication here. And this is why so much trouble between men and women happens, is because he's coming from his perspective, she's coming from her perspective, and they suck at communicating. You're both bad at communicating. Because he misunderstood her completely. And she had bad social skills by going on this fucking rant. It was too much of a rant, right? And it wasn't, she didn't say it in the most compassionate way. She could have packaged it a little bit better. And that's why he rejected her. So.
Anyways, nice to meet you. Bye. Enjoy.
Thank you, Ida.
How you doing?
Hello.
Dominique.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's it. Time out. What was your name again?
Yaya.
Yaya?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Question for you is, what is like your ideal first date?
It's not this.
No. Mine would be, I like the water. I like to look at the water.
Do you wakeboard or wake surf or? Okay.
I just like
would
to
you,
like.
Would you
chill
try
at
it?
I would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down to bust my ass. I don't know if the box wants to say it, but I don't really like city girls.
City girls. Okay.
Yeah, I think like the stipulations that come along with that is kind of dumb.
Like a New York City girl, like.
No.
No. Like what? Okay. So what do you mean?
So
yeah,
city girls,
yeah, I
city
guess.
girls kind of like, fly me out. Do this. Do this. Do this. Like.
Wait, I'm
before
sorry.
that,
Why is that a city girl?
Like, it's not that. Not just that. Let me finish.
Okay.
Like, the intentions is not to actually get to know. You just have this standard that is not understanding.
Okay.
Nice meeting.
Nice.
Not to be weird or nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're going on these tangents, right? So I understand you're nervous and you're on TV and millions of people are going to see you, right? I'm sure I would say some dumb fucking shit, and anyone who makes fun of these people, you would all say some ridiculous ass weird shit and just act weird because you're in a camera, right? You're on camera. So I have to forgive that, right? But, you know, this is called screening. Or like you're asking someone to qualify themselves. So by screening, you're saying like, I don't like this or I do like this, and if you fit it, you're qualified, and if you don't, like you're not qualified. And what women will do when you screen is women will try to qualify themselves by saying, hey, I do actually meet your standards, right? Well, she was challenging his standards. So he just came out of nowhere. He attempted to screen. He was like, I don't like city girls. And she's like, okay, what is a city girl? And he started to explain it, but she didn't understand, like, why is this it's a terminology, right? It mostly comes from a certain demographic, and she just didn't understand the lingo, right? And so she was asking for clarification, and he actually kind of got a little bit impatient. You saw him say, let me finish. But she couldn't understand. First of all, I think she was just confused, like, why is he talking about this, right? Because they were actually pretty cool. Like, there was some good chemistry. But then he comes with this screen, and she's like, okay, because by bringing it up, right? This isn't a philosophical debate where you just, go over Twitter fucking questions, right? This is when you're with someone and you bring up something like, I don't like city girls, what's the first thing she's going to think? Is he accusing me of being a city girl, right? If you're on a date with a girl, and you're just talking, and she's just like, yeah, I don't like fuckboys. And you're like, okay, well, what's a fuckboy? Like, what's your definition of it? She's like, oh, da-da-da-da-da. And then he's sitting there like, well, why did you bring that up? Is it because you think I'm one and you're trying to, like, let me know? So I think she was just confused of why this is even being brought up in the first place. And then his definition was shit. He basically just said, like, a gold-digging hoe, right? Well, I don't think you have a lot of money or enough money to even be attracting those types, right? This guy, he's in a certain phase of his life right now, I'm pretty sure. But don't bring up this shit. Like, there's cool ways to screen, and there's cool ways to bring up your standards. And the first step is they have to be contextual. They have to be brought up naturally is a vague word. They need to be brought up when there's an available context, right? Like, when was your last relationship? Oh, da-da-da-da-da. And then you bring up something about that relationship, and then you screen with that. You say, you know what, I found out I really don't like people who do this or who did that, right? So, yeah, just bad communication skills.
That was a little weird, but okay.
I know.
See? She she was just like, that was weird. Like, why are you bringing this up? And this guy just got in his feelings and he's just bringing up things, right? He probably dated a chick recently and, you know, she probably was a city girl by his definition and he wasn't quite meeting the cut. And then that butthurt stayed with him, right? We all do this, of course, right? But he carried over that shit into this conversation. And that's why she's like, this is weird. Like, why did you bring this up? Like, it had nothing to do with me, and I felt somewhat accused.
That was odd.
That was really weird. I didn't like that.
Hi.
Hello.
I didn't take
I'm
your-
Yaya. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
So, Adrian says the only reason not to date him is the size of his
Apartment?
apartment.
My apartment is 270 square feet. It's a little small. Bed's a twin, but you know.
You have a bathroom?
Yes, and I have in-unit washer dryer, have a stove, everything.
Wow.
And I have 70 pairs of shoes in there, so you know it's all fitting.
Do you, I guess, like, have you been dating? Like, are you a serial dater? Or...
I think he just got scared by the noise because he reacted way too quickly. Or he might have felt like she was judging him. I don't think she actually was. I think she was surprised by the apartment thing, but I don't think she wasn't feeling him. But she instinctively reacted to just his jumpiness. Like, she was jumping, and she's like, oh my God, what's going on? And wanted to do it too, right? I don't think she wasn't interested. I don't think she would have asked if he's serially dating. I mean, just by looking at him, I think this guy might actually not have bad game, right? He's probably kind of funny. Just my feeling. He's probably, I mean, I'm not saying he's fucking Casanova, but he's probably pretty decent. I think she was maybe not feeling him, but there was a possibility there. But he got jumpy, I think. I don't know. Or was he feeling judged? Let me see. I'm going to see my prediction here. God, that just seems like nervous jumpiness. And then he might come up with a reason afterwards. The only context they have is either he doesn't like how she looks, or he felt judged about the apartment. We'll see.
You two went hard. Tell each other. Tell me. Why?
I don't know, I just wasn't getting the
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, I wasn't giving you the vibe. It just wasn't there.
Yeah, I think they just got jumpy.
It was his grills.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it was nice meeting
Nice
you.
meeting you.
Hi,
Hi, what's your name?
Adrian. Nice to meet
Adrian.
you. What's your name?
Jalian.
It's like alien with a J, right?
Yes.
Probably the first time you heard it, huh?
No, because I tell everyone that.
Oh, really?
I was like, because they don't know how to pronounce it. Because it's either Jillian or something.
Jalen.
Yeah.
Probably
Yes.
a lot of Jalen,
Yeah.
huh?
What's your job? Does your job let you have the grill?
Yeah, no, I work at Geico. I'm like a
Oh, you're
claims
insurance.
trainer.
Oh, so you could teach me about insurance.
I could teach you about insurance. I know all about insurance.
I want you to teach her about insurance in a sexy voice.
Oh my.
In
okay.
a sexy voice.
Man, you know you got a scenario. Someone get hit by a car. Now what? Someone call you, hey, someone hit my car. What do I do? What's the next step?
Dang, okay, I'd be like, damn, someone hit your car. I really...
You called customers. Bro, this is funny. Fuck, I would have, hey, excuse me, hello, welcome to Geico, da-da-da. Yeah, someone just hit my car, I got sideswiped, fuck, and they took off. What do I do? Damn, bro, someone hit your car. I would laugh, right? But then I'd be like, really? This or maybe he'd be, I don't know. I'd probably either be super pissed or would love him. I'd be like, all right, that's a very genuine response. Damn, bro, somebody hit your car, that sucks. Yeah, it sucks, bro. Can I get like some information?
Just don't have a sexy voice.
One of Adrian's deal breakers is someone who doesn't have a job.
Yeah, someone that doesn't have a job is
don't
probably...
have a job.
You don't have a job?
How?
Sorry, button. Okay.
I'm Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I'm Adrian. Nice to meet you.
I always like to ask people this question. I know it's super I would you choose waffles or pancakes?
I was I paused because I thought the question was gonna be super fucking stupid and I didn't want to spit it out.
Oh, waffles for sure. I love waffles. Pancakes, I don't.
Waffles or pancakes? Shit. Let me know in the description below. Waffles or pancakes? Man, that's rough. But if I had to choose, I'd say waffles. I'd say waffles.
No, they're not as fluffy.
The
they
texture.
don't have the nice fluff to them, I feel like.
Pancakes are fluffier than waffles. What are you talking about?
Waffles, they have those little indents, so when I'm spreading my Nutella on them, like I get a big bite of just labor. Yeah. Good.
I feel like the romantic
different
chemistry like just isn't there for me.
I feel that, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah, good
It was nice to
meeting
meet
you.
you.
What are you looking for right now, Elizabeth?
Low key, a husband. I'm at a point in life where I really want to meet like someone special to spend life with.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm Max.
I'm Elizabeth.
Nice to meet you, Elizabeth.
Good to
I
meet
love
you.
your hair.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, and your
Thanks.
earrings are also really great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
He nailed that compliment. If you guys ever want to learn how to do better direct approaches, his tonality was actually really good.
Special to spend life with.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm Max.
I'm Elizabeth.
Nice to meet you, Elizabeth.
Good to
I
meet
love
you.
your hair.
Thank you.
I love your hair. Like there was emotion in it, right? Like when guys walk up and they're like, hey, you're really cute. No, it sucks. Hey, you're really cute. Or wow, you know, I saw you over here and you were just beautiful. Night and day, my friends.
It's beautiful, and your
Thanks.
earrings are also really great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
What kind of porn do you two watch?
Whatever's on the front page, honestly, as long as it's
That's
like,
lazy.
I know, I'm just like, get it done quick. I'm sorry.
I don't really watch porn. I have, like, out of curiosity, checked it out, but
fair.
it's not really for me. I feel like my imagination is enough, usually.
What are your biggest
That's why girls tend to read porn rather than watch it, because their imagination, I mean, there's girls that watch porn, obviously, but for the most part, women want a storyline behind it because, you know, the foreplay is super important for women, but their imagination is what gets them going. Whereas men, like you said, just get it over with. Like, I just want to see some dick and some pussy and just fucking jerk off or just bust.
insecurities?
I think my biggest insecurity is probably like my hair, actually. I have like 4 cowlicks. So I have 2 back here that kind of alfalfa.
Wait, can you turn it around?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have noticed that, like, otherwise.
My
with
barbers know what they're
anything.
doing.
I've had the same hair for, like, a long time.
Really? It looks
I had
great.
it this short in, like, 4th grade, and then after that, I was like, no.
Fun fact about Max, he has sold video games to MTV and Nickelodeon.
Like, ones that you created?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
in high
cool.
school, I made like the flash games that, you know, you play in like the libraries, and made like $10,000 to $14,000
Oh,
my
wow.
junior year. Yeah.
Do you play a lot of video games now?
It comes in waves. I think I tend to be like more active outside or like reading. Right now, I'm working on a science fiction book. So.
Cool. Do you like
I think she likes him. She's paying a lot of attention.
Star Wars then?
I'm not like super into Star Wars, but I love to like sit down. I like to sit down and watch it.
I've just seen like the OG Star Wars like movies. I love that as a kid.
So Elizabeth wants to get married. She's ready to settle down, have kids.
Like I don't want kids like now, but like in 4 or 5 years.
Fair.
Yeah.
So like, when are you looking to get married though? That's my question. So like a specific timeline or?
I don't want to like rush anything.
So no wedding bells next year then, unless it works.
Probably not. That would be a little insane.
This is a very good conversation. Obviously, this is the best one so far. They're gonna end up together. They're gonna say yes for another date. You can see that when the button was going red, he didn't move an inch. Like, go back and watch the video, you know, when we get done, and just watch how calm he is, because he's not afraid of being rejected, and that's making her feel calm. Whereas the other people, like when the 2 people jumped, I think they just jumped because, you know, he just got nervous. And here, this guy is just really, really calm. He's got some game. He's doing very well.
I've lit up red a few times. Nobody's pressing me. You two vibing?
Yeah, I'm having fun.
I like you.
I think you're pretty cool.
I'm gonna light up red one more time. If you don't press me, I'm gonna consider it a match.
My hands are up here.
I'd be like, kidding. You know, just to get a little fun in there, but I like that too. Just like, hey, I'm not, because he's not afraid, right? That's how you should go into, if you were on this dating thing, you should never be trying to press the red button. Unless you for sure were not attracted to her. I would just be like, hey, sorry, I'm not really attracted, right? And you don't want to be like leaning in, because a lot of these people try to lean in. She was getting a little bit, she's like, is he gonna? But he's just super cool and confident. And that's how you should treat any date. You should go in, just give it all you got. I mean, never wing a date. Like, put all you have into it. Try to be the best version of yourself. I mean, it's always to some extent a show. And we're all trying to show our best. No one comes into a date and says, here's all the terrible things about me. Like, that's not even fun. Like, you want to show the best sides of yourself. Obviously, you have flaws, right? And those are going to come out. Or you can express them in cool ways. Like, he expressed his insecurity about the hair. It's not a huge one. He probably does feel bad about it. I mean, we all have weird insecurities. But when you go on a date, man, just give it your all, right? Don't be yourself. That's horrible advice, because if that worked, everyone would be happy. It doesn't even make any sense, right? Try to be the best version of yourself and learn how to express your values and your opinions and your thoughts in a skillful, cool manner. And he's a very good example of how to do that. And if he can maintain that level of coolness throughout a whole date, this guy has game.
It's love. There's gonna be wedding bells.
Wedding
inside
bells
of a year.
next
I
year.
predict it. I'm never wrong. You get out of here, you two. You two little lovebirds.
Yeah, that was actually not bad. I think he actually did pretty well. So, one thing I want to review. No, I think I covered everything. Obviously, when you're dealing with, this kind of scenario with the button, you're always going to be, I want to survive till the end, And you should reject someone who obviously you're not interested in, but you shouldn't go in being protective about the button, because the button's just a metaphor in real dating. And it's never, eventually someone does press the button, but it's always an escalation or a de-escalation, and it takes time. So while you're on dates with girls, try your best to understand that whenever you say something or whenever you do something or express yourself in some way, she's paying attention, very close attention. And you want to perform the best you can, right? As authentically as possible, okay? You're performing, but still it has to be true, right? But realize that it's a scale that's going up and down and up and down and up and down. And try to put as many ups as possible. But when things do start to go down, do not freak out and press the button, which is what a lot of people do. They just start like the guy earlier who was talking about city girls. Like, he was just getting nervous and he just was like, I don't like city girls. And she's like, what the fuck? That's so weird for you to just bring that up, right? Because he's in a place right now. He's maybe went through something recently personally, and he's expressing that to her. So try not to let the negatives while it's on the date. If you said something awkward or there was a bad moment, don't let it knock you off your rhythm. It's going to have some effect on you emotionally. You can't pretend that it doesn't. But dates are messy. They're never super clear. This was super clean, but this was only the first 5 minutes or a couple minutes of a seduction. It's very easy to make that smooth. But at some point, there's going to be things that are not smooth. Ride through them and realize there's a lot of room for error. And the better you get, the more room for error you have on a date. And if you learn how to basically roll with the punches, but still continue to perform skillfully and authentically, right? Don't pretend to be something you're not. You're going to have a much more long-term consistent success when you're talking to girls, right? But of course, you do need to actually be getting girls out on dates, right? You're not going to have an opportunity like this, right? You're going to have to go out and find these dates. And the best way to find dates is not online dating. It's not nightclubs and bars. It's not your social circle. It's meeting girls out in real life, okay? Like, he walked up to her and said, wow, I really love your hair. You could do that to a random girl on the street. It's totally okay. It's not weird, right? You might get rejected. She might ignore you, especially in the beginning if you're not good at it, right? But if you can express yourself the way he did, oh, yeah, I love your hair, and you can walk up to a girl and give her that same kind of energy, you could really get a lot of results and get a lot of girls on dates, because girls are just bursting at the seams to get on dates with cool guys, but there's not a lot of cool guys out there. Trust me, we've seen an example. Like I said, this is obviously dramatized because you're picking certain people and blah, 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 artificial environment. But cool, charismatic guys are very, very rare. So if you can make yourself into one. Even in just the first 2-3 minutes meeting her, you can get a lot of girls out on a lot of dates. So check out the description below. I have a course called Meet Girls Everywhere. I will teach you how to do an approach like that guy was doing it, but in so many other circumstances, and how to have a conversation 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes maximum, right? But 2 to 3 minutes is perfectly fine. Have a normal conversation with her, simple questions, ask her out on a date, get her phone number, and then actually get a real date where you can hopefully take things further with your charisma and your sexiness because you got game. Or if you don't, we're going to teach you how to get game. So like, subscribe, ring the bell. Check out the description below again for my course, Meet Girls Everywhere. I'll see you very soon. Ciao.